Have you ever tried to convince her to run for president?
I can give her some counsel, but if she doesn't want to do something, she ain't doing it.
But we see this often, though, is that the people who should run are the ones who are never interested in running.
He has to talk her into letting him run for president.
Did he tell her they have a gym in a pool?
Oh, man, it wouldn't have worked. So you know what he did?
A lot of times when her name is brought up, despite the fact she has said numerous times she does not no interest in being president. It's a bit like loving the backup quarterback. Like, y'all say this now, but we all know, given the level of scrutiny, all the things she went through as the first lady, you all make it like, I think people have a bit of revisionist history about what that is actually like in practice. But that being said, my final political question before we get out of here: have you ever tried to convince her to run for president?
No.
Nope.
And so here's how this goes. This is how it went in our household, right? She met Barack, and he just happened to be a politician or want to be a politician. He wasn't a politician when we met him, and he aspired to be a politician, and he never made it a secret. And so when he started running and winning, my sister had a little bit of an attitude. And I was like, hold up. Now, you and I are brother and sister. You're my closest friend. I'm going to look out for you. But I got to tell you, in these relationships, he's been up front the whole time. You just didn't think he would win or be good. And now you can't be pissed at him because he's good at what he does. That would be like my wife being pissed that I'm a good coach, and she didn't want me to be a coach. She doesn't like coaches. And she thought for a minute. She's like, okay. And so then we get involved in this whole thing only because she met him. He has to talk her into letting him run for president. Run for president. It's like, what? You can't say no. But he was like me with the kids asking about going to be a coach. And
did he tell her they have a gym in a pool?
Oh, man, he might have. It wouldn't have worked. So you know what he did? He's like, Craig, can you talk to your mom? And because he knew my mom would get her.
Oh, wow. He wasn't playing fair, huh?
Well, he's a politician. He knows how to work the angles. And I was like, oh, good idea. And so what we that's how my mom ended up going to the White House, because we said, look, my sister wanted her daughters to be raised like she was raised and like I was raising my kids, like my dad and mom raised us. Low key, focus on academics, hard work, don't worry about what other people are thinking, not on Front Street. And she's going on the frontest of front streets, right? So we get this all going. He wins. You got that, 2 years of running and then 8 years in the White House. Every time people ask her, she says, no, I know, I get it. It's a hard no. I would bet every cent I have on the fact that she wouldn't run, and I'd just win all the bets. I'd win all, because everybody thinks they're going to talk her into running. It ain't going to happen. It is not going to happen.
Did anybody ever come close to talking her into it?
No,
it feels like no one ever did.
But, I mean, you read my sister's book. You probably know my whole family.
I do.
Even I can't talk her into stuff. I can give her some counsel, but if she doesn't want to do something, she ain't doing it. And I don't blame her. I don't blame her. She's been like that since she was 4 years old. She's the toughest personality in our family. And you when you give her two things to choose from, you better want both of them to happen, because she's liable to choose the one you don't want. So it's nowhere near close, and and I applaud her for that, because I think she can get more done outside of the White House. She's got such a platform, and people really listen to her. And like you said, Jemele, you being a black woman and being in the media, you saw all the stuff. Oh, it was such mean stuff. And you know what's so funny is people were like, "Hey, Craig, how do you put up with all this stuff they're saying?" And I'm like, I go back once again. It doesn't matter. They don't know her. It doesn't bother me. It's like when people said bad things about me as a coach. It's just, you know who you are. We know who we are. I'm not worried about that. But it's a lot, and it's a lot when you have little children too, that you have to sort of bring up this way, and I just think she's done such a great job at it. And you know,
yeah, I wouldn't sign up for that again. I get
last thing. See, I know you're a movie buff, right? I know, and I love that, and I'm a big Wire fan, but you know your movies. Gladiator. Did you see Gladiator?
Of course, 1,000 times.
And Gladiator is one of those movies, when it's on, you turn it, you'll catch any part of it, right? And then you'll watch it to the end. Well, then you remember the part when Caesar goes to Russell Crowe,
to Maximus,
and he wants him to be Caesar. And Maximus says, I can't be Caesar. And Caesar says, that's why you have to be Caesar. Now see, but my sister doesn't watch Gladiator, so she ain't
she like, no. I'm not Caesar.
She ain't Caesar. She ain't Caesar.
But we see this often though, is that the people who should run are the ones who are never interested in running, right? And so see,
you can't be too thirsty for that position. If you're too thirsty for it, it ain't for you. And see, all these people who want it, they're just a little too thirsty, in my opinion. So I'll leave it with that. I'll leave you with that.